Welcome to Jeff Tech, the school of choice. On September 7th, OVR journeys to our area of high education to explore the different aspects of each and every unique program available to students at Jeff Tech.
It just was another band that found the school.
So the kids are going to fix it, they're going to paint it, they're going to do everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's going to be, it's kind of like a big oven if you want to think of it that way. Because if you don't have the heat, the paint takes longer to dry than the solvent-based paint. And also you have to really control your climate because any of the particulates in the air will impact the finish of the vehicle. So that controls both temperature, speed of drying, and impurities that will get in the paint job and really ruin hours and hours of work.
So when they're in here, they're doing everything, but like say a kid's really more towards the painting and the...
And again, it's kind of like what Tom was saying. There's going to be kids that really like to do the body work. There's going to be kids that really like to paint. There's going to be kids that take on a project like these hoods up here and they really want to do the artistic side, like H&H on the way out of Du Bois, where he's doing old rebuilds and custom work on vehicles. Some are going to go that way. Some are going to get a job in a place where they bring a wrecked vehicle in, they put all new parts on it, paint it, and send it out the door. So again, students are going to fall somewhere in that continuum. That system will be able to tell us what, if anything, is out of alignment on that vehicle. Similar to what NASCAR uses for inspection. How they can just, in a moment, tell if a vehicle is out of spec. It's the same way here. And we do projects with local fire companies, local police departments, some of their vehicles. Jefferson County, we've done some vehicles for them as well. It's good live work for our students, and it also gives back to the community.
Yeah, Pam was just telling me one of the projects we're going to feature for her marketing is a Du Bois City fire vehicle that they're going to be bringing in here in the next week or so, and we're going to film them painting it. And so they're not. It's not just my dad's car is broken down. It's not just internal work here for the school. These kids are getting real live experience working for clients such as government and industry. That's pretty powerful. We might want to touch on our art program too and how all this stuff integrates. You know,
that's true. We brought back art. Art was not here for I don't know how long, but part of the reason bringing back art, one, it's expressive for kids that just need that. And then the second side of it is that the job market now is not get in a single lane. It's creative problem solving. It's being able to market yourself, and it's being able to kind of roll with what comes your way. And so that artistic process helps their mind kind of be ready for that. The world that our parents grew up in, where they had the same job for 40 years and retired, we're not sending kids into that world, and so we've got to have them be ready to roll with whatever comes their way. And that's where that art is kind of bigger than just the piece of art that they create. It's where I believe anyway.
Well, and I know as an early reach coordinator, I'm tasked with reaching out to students. It's not always just going to college, but there are great jobs that you just need some technical experience, and that's where these schools come in handy. So knowing more about it helps me when I'm in the classroom as well and talking. So this is awesome.
From an instructional standpoint, though, as well as somebody that was in industry for 20 years before going to college myself, I didn't go back to school until I started teaching because I had to. Through all that experience, Mr. Philman's hitting it right on the head. The job market is changing. It's not just about the technical skills. It's the maturity. It's the, are you a self-starter? Can you apply these skills that you've learned to out-of-the-box thinking, make opportunities for yourself? And I would argue that the career and technical pathway is not simply for a continued career and technical pathway. If you want to go on to college, what you're learning here in your 4 years is incredibly beneficial to you, because you're not being spoon-fed. You're being forced into a real-world situation where you have to have critical thinking, where you have to problem solve. You have to analyze. No professor is going to hold your hand in college, right? So these kids are, I think the career and technical pathway is actually preparing them for school. They're much more independent thinkers, and they're much more out-of-the-box thinkers, and that's crucial to success in academics or in business, I think.
And I think there's also but I think there's also opportunities for students to be leaders within a group, and hold each other to their part, and build that skill of working as part of a team that's going to benefit them too. And there's often times that, you know, when they start to work on that band, one group is going to have to leave in the morning at a certain point. The next group is going to have to pick that up. They're going to have to be able to. Students don't make up their mind to come here until 10th grade.
Yeah.
Of course, we're not interning.
Okay.
We had of that 131 new students, 15 of those were freshmen.
Okay.
So we had the 160 freshmen, which was huge, but we also had a number of, 10th graders, a couple of juniors coming.
So in 8th grade, they're coming in and getting a tour.
Every
right?
student in the 4 districts that's sent to us gets a tour.
Okay, in 8th grade.
Yes, and then students can indicate if they'd like to do a shop shadow,
Okay.
or they'll come in for a day and maybe they're trying to decide between 2 shops, or trying to decide if they really want a shop that they think they want. They can come in and they can go through the day with the students, and they eat lunch in our cafeteria. They're a student for a day, and that helps them, I think, to know what it is they're getting, and is this right for me?
Yeah. Well, what other prep, I'm just asking, like, what other prep are they getting in 8th grade to start having them? Because that's where that whole career development comes in at.
I know.
And a lot of kids don't know what they want yet. So how are you prepping
It's very
them?
hard for us in a day to necessarily instill that. So we're starting to go out more into the schools and bring along some teachers to talk about it. I think Mr. Tinger mentioned that he's been out kind of sharing what they're doing and trying to show them. I think part of it is it's two-pronged. Let's show the variety of things within each program, and then let's also show the end result. And I think that we have to show both pieces for it to be meaningful to a kid. Our alumni association, we're trying to really rejuvenate that, because that's part of it. People that have businesses in this area that are thriving businesses that came from here, and educating what's the outcome of their experience here. Dan Steele, who runs his own construction business, and our active advisory members like Carney Cataldo and people like that who run these very successful businesses, and having that message out in the community has been, I think, something that we need to help people understand too. The Miller brothers, Miller Brothers. I mean, that's a massive company, and he's somebody who came from
Oh, yeah, that's the information we need to get out.
It's critical too, because there's a lot, we're fighting a lot of misconceptions about the nature of career and technical education centers. A lot of people that walk in here, again, they don't even know what a great facility we have. But for instance, robotics. So where are you going to go to work for a high-tech lab doing robotics? You walk into the welding bay at Miller Welding, and it's just bank after bank after bank of incredibly high-tech robots.
They have 21 robotic welders at Miller Welding, so that's my last count, so don't put that.
Wow.
But that's one of the reasons we're trying to get a robotic welder for our welding shop, because it's not that you can expose a student to every piece of machinery they're going to encounter, but they have to understand the basics, how it works, so that the learning curve it's more about learning, the process specific to the machine, but they understand what's going on. And that's the same thing. They're not going to, in our HVAC, they're not going to see every type of boiler or every type of furnace that they're going to see when they go out. But they have to know how to intuitively work with what's in front of them, understand the process. Each area we go to is just continuing this idea of finding what's right for each kid. And it was interesting as this thing developed, seeing some of his students that were maybe resistant at first.
Yeah, that was my learning year too. It took me a little while to adapt, to a new program, where to find the curriculum for the program, and to have the right stuff here. And I suppose at the same time, what I'm doing is trying to ease them into something that is fun. And at the same time, I needed to build a few of these things so that I could take it on the road with me to help market it. I went to different high schools. I went to the mall. We drove the robots through the mall. Trying to get a little bit of publicity and to get the word out there of what we do. We are transitioning. Which I still have lots of questions that I need to speak with him about, my NOCTI tests and all this kind of thing. But he's very lenient in letting me try to the learning curve on this is,
I think we're still seeing that payoff where these kids are getting placed again. They're placed at Phoenix.
Yeah.
They're doing things in the metal industry. They're going to be able to go out and design architecturally. They're going to be able to design mechanical parts. They're going to have that experience of.
Do you want to fix this now, or where do we want to go with this? And they're going to try some things, and I let them try some things, only to find out that they wish something was different, and then they'd go back and alter something,
And
So
last year you went to the bridge building competition too.
We did,
So students got to compete up at Lock Haven and finished second, right?
balsa wood models, but in our first year there, we took a second place, among like 30 different entries for bridges. And whether that was luck or what it was, they got excited about it, and they believe we're going to do it again this year. We went to Penn State last year, possibly because their engineering program now recognized our engineering program, and we're going to go again this year. What was really nice, I don't even know if you knew this, what was really nice is the software that we teach here, the Autodesk Inventor, we went over there to Penn State, and of course they're bringing all the high school students in, like ours is a high school student. My students were the only one who knew how to use the software. There was no other people from other high schools that knew how to use the Inventor software. So they took my group and they said, okay, you go here with them, you go here with them. And we had one of mine at every group of kids. And we were able to do what they wanted us to do over there in their engineering program, which made me proud.
Yeah. Is this a 2-year program?
Here?
Yeah. 4-year program.
Yeah. It would be great if they would come as a 9th grader and
Yes.
stay for 4 years. It doesn't always work out that way, but that's the goal.
Yeah, occasionally they get a 10th grade. Our big winner for co-op last year, we had 11 students placed on co-op from building trades, anywhere from industrial supply companies through construction companies and building maintenance for a nursing home. We had one student out doing maintenance for
Alumni Association push.
Okay.
So, big push to try to find those successful people in the community to share their success with the community and motivate our students as well.
I was telling them that you were the big winner for co-op placement last year. I didn't know if you could expand a little on the places where they were.
As you know, co-op is our goal for our last part of their junior year and into their senior year. I was fortunate enough to have 7 students out on co-op. That was good for them. Benefits of co-op is for them, they get on-job experience, and most of our graduates, once they graduate, stay on as a full-time employee because that employer has built a relationship with them. They know the company or the job that they're doing, and they just roll right into a full-time position upon graduation. So they don't have to run for a job anymore. So in the building trades, we're a high-demand occupation, and I could probably put out every senior I had they have transportation, and there's a few other things that they need to have. But the big thing is transportation right now. We're in high demand for this occupation.
Remember that?
Yeah, the non-traditional ways. A lot of our kids will graduate, and we send out a survey. Say, are you employed in the field, or have you used the skills that you learned here at Jeff Tech? And I always tell the students, stop and think about it, and that comes to mind. I had a student that graduated in carpentry, and I saw his thing come back saying he wasn't working in the field or related trade area. So I tracked him down, and I said to him, look, I know what you're doing. You're working on biplanes. He worked in St. Mary's restoring biplanes. Yeah. And I said, what do you use to do that? What are they made out of? Well, wood and cloth and all that. I said, so you're using a bandsaw, using the drill, using your measuring skills. So they don't have to funnel down this way. There's other ways they can go out as well.
OVR is a state agency that works with individuals who have a disability of any kind to help them with employment and independence. So our goal is to get these students ready for life after high school and give them the skills that they need. And
I guess they do that here, huh?
they do that here, and that's why we really want to have that cooperation with them and having the kids understand that OVR can be that extension for them even after high school.
Right.
Does that work?
I was told I would have this exclusive, Sam. What are you doing? You're horning out my territory.
This blazer here, they have a blazer that has a good engine, but it's wrecked. And they have a blazer that's in one piece, but the engine bad. So they're going to go through that work of that total transformation.
Changing out engines.
Yeah. And so we have all that kind of experience for them here. They also do some work with motorcycles and small engines. We have one student who, as a freshman last year, looked me in the face and said, I'm going to open my own small engine shop when I graduate. And it's been true to he's still there. That's what he's going to do. He knows that. So, again, they got new technology in here. They have a new tire machine. They're getting a road force balancer, which is the most up-to-date tire balancing system. They can change a tire in about 30 seconds with the tire machine. Road force balancer with a laser will tell them where to put the weights. Guaranteed. Another one of those instructors that's just beyond belief, the ability to get everything out of.
How are your non-traditional students, you know what I'm talking about, like with girls going into non-traditionals and boys going into non-traditional careers?
We've made a lot of great strides. This year, for the first time, we have 3 young men in our health assisting program.
Okay.
We have a variety of young ladies that are in HVAC, collision repair, auto mechanics, welding. So we do have some cross.
Okay.
The IT is pretty much 50-50. I don't know anymore. It's kind of, there really isn't a non-traditional in those fields, in my opinion. We have a lot of young ladies in the engineering shop. A lot of their numbers come from female population. He actually has more than males. So we do have a good blend. And we're starting to see a lot of co-op placement for non-traditional too, which is encouraging. We're seeing we have a couple from collision repair that are on co-op.
Again, I know what it is, but I kind of.
Well, the co-op, the biggest promise we make parents when they send their kids here is your kid's gonna go to work. And so last year we had 60 students go out and get work experience. The goal is that they're 100% placed by their senior year. So that's another piece of this for us. The partnership with OVR is about making sure that we get everyone out. And that's, if they don't get to work, then why did they come here?
I think. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't
Did
mean
they
to
go on
interrupt.
to college from here at all, or
Oh, yes.
do they?
Yeah, we had several students in the last graduating class that went to, one went to Penn State for engineering. We've had students go to a variety of colleges for different fields, and I think that's the push that we've had with adding psychology, adding computer science, adding Spanish. This year we're going to add Spanish in the next 9 weeks, and then we've added applied chemistry and applied physics back into the curriculum, so that we have a very robust academic curriculum to go along with what I think is a world-class career education.
How long have you been doing academics now? Like here, it's what, 4 years maybe, 5 years, maybe it's not that, something like that. I think.
Yeah, I don't have that answer because it was just I inherited that. So
Right.
Well, it's been comprehensive since I've been here, and I'm going on 10 years now. So it was. I think this school has always been comprehensive, where it was full time.
Right.
I think that there's only a handful of them in the state, though, right? With the full-time academics.
I want to say it was like 14 in the whole
Yeah.
state. Really, this is the way to do it because it gives you the opportunity, like our mechanical math class that we started last year, gives us the opportunity to make the academic content relevant. It's still just as rigorous, but it's also relevant.
And he's touched. I'd like to touch on this regarding the OVR relationship because one of the things that I saw out of this was the filling in the gaps. You know, we as instructors, you see what it's like in here. This is the real world as much as it can possibly be, but we still have a classroom to manage. And as much as we try and do a great job with reaching out into the community, providing the kids real world work experience, it's difficult. I mean, there's only so much time in the day. So I think that this expanded relationship with OVR is going to lend a lot more opportunity to get the kids that might be struggling with those social skills, to get the kids that technically they might have it, but they're not ready quite to go out on co-op yet. And we can get them into a real world environment without all of the trappings and the pressure of an official co-op assignment and test them out, see how they do. Let them build a portfolio, let them gain their confidence in a real world setting. And then we can identify those kids that might be ready for co-op the next year. Get them groomed, get them ready to go. You know, so I see this as a wonderful bridge to the real world community that we need to, you know. So hopefully you guys are seeing these possibilities open up, you know.
I see it.
Awesome.
We're closing in on 50 students in here. I'm trying to think of the exact number, but we're well over 40 in here at this point. We hired a half-time instructor to complement our full-time instructor so that we could increase our numbers. And we've replaced a lot of the technology in here as well, 10 new welding stations. And looking forward.
That's why the kids are starting to come in because they're looking at that, or
I think this is one of those occupations that's going to stand the test of time, regardless of whether it's the gas industry or, I know if rail makes a comeback, it would be huge for this industry, and there have been some rumblings of that as well, because you got to make the rail cars, you got to make the rails, and there's a lot of opportunity for students to start their own business, to have a trade like welding and go work for a municipality because they can repair the pipes and they can do the things that a municipality like a Du Bois or a Punxsutawney would need, different things like that. So there's, you know, they can go in a factory and make, you know, create and do things. You know, make fire trucks, whatever it is that they want to do. Go to a shipyard. Underwater welding is very lucrative.